Hey there, as photographers, a USB hub is not necessarily the sexiest piece of equipment we own, but it can be essential. EZQuest has a new 10-in-1 USB hub that's out. I took a look at it. I'll tell you what it's good for. I'll tell you a couple little design quibbles that I have with it and give you an overall recommendation. Let's dive right in. So the product we are talking about today is the EZQuest 10-in-1 USB-C Multimedia Generation 2 hub. This is a compact USB hub. You can see how it fits, in my hand here. This is not a giant device. And I think where this is going to excel is for travel. That's how I started testing it out myself. I've got a big, heavy USB hub here in my studio. It's a CalDigit TS4, but that is not practical for travel. It's big and it's heavy. This EZQuest hub, though, has got a lot of ports on it, a lot of options, and does well for that. So let's dive right in. Now, just a disclaimer up front, EZQuest did send me this hub for evaluation at no cost. However, they did not tell me what I needed to say about it, and they are not reviewing this video before I publish. So what you're getting here is my real take on things. So if we look at this hub, first of all, let's talk a little bit about what it has on the hub as far as ports and features go. If we take a look at it, it's got several USB-C ports on the first side. One of those is a 100-watt USB-C power delivery port. I use that to power my MacBook Pro on the trip where I tested this out. We've got an HDMI port, perfect for getting video in or out of your computer. And then there's a couple other USB-C Generation 2 ports, perfect for plugging in all of those things that we now have that use USB-C. We've also got a 3.5mm headphone or audio adapter that can be used either for headphones or for a microphone input. On the end, got gigabit Ethernet, which is nice for when you have those jobs where you need to plug in for that faster wired connection. On the back side, a couple of USB-A ports, because no matter how hard we try to get rid of it, USB-A persists. And then we've got both a full-size and a micro SD card reader. So as a photographer, this was important to me. And I will say that as I tested this in a travel environment, the SD card reader was great speed. I had no issue at all pulling files off of that. And in fact, with most memory cards, you're going to find it's going to basically pull that off as fast as the memory card can handle. So I was pleased with that. And speaking of the SD card, that does get me to one of my little design quibbles with this device. If I take a look at the hub here and I grab an SD card, you will see that as I put that SD card into the hub, it barely slides in. It slides in just far enough to bring in those metal contacts on the SD card. So from a data transfer standpoint, works great, not a problem. However, this does leave a bulk of the SD card sticking out. And while I didn't break anything in my testing, having this SD card, a relatively flimsy piece of plastic sticking out, does feel potentially a bit fragile or risky in that if something were to bump against it, I feel like this wouldn't go well. So just something to note. Now, if they had made it so that the SD card went significantly farther into the hub, it would have made the hub bigger, probably. They've prioritized the space here, and I like what they've done with that. So trade-offs, right? The other trade-off that we have, if we get rid of this SD card, the other trade-off that we have is with the design of the cable itself, in that it is attached to the device. Good news is that means you can't lose it, and it's not another cable that you have to pack with you when you use this hub. The bad news is that if this cable gets eaten by your dog, run over by your chair, or otherwise damaged, it is not replaceable. The other thing is that, it's about probably about a 10-inch cable or so, I would say. If you need a longer distance, that's not something that you have here with this hub. That said, those are design trade-offs. I can understand the reasons that they were made. EZQuest made their priorities, and I think that overall they've got a good package here. As I said, This is a great little travel hub. This is the sort of thing that I could use on site, on location for either photography work or for streaming. I wish I'd had this a couple months ago when I was doing a streaming production in Nashville for the American Society of Photographers, because I think this would have worked better than the setup that I had. So again, I'm generally a fan of this. A couple little design things that I think are possible improvements maybe for the next generation of their product. But when you look at the amount of ports that we've got, the power that it has, and the size, I think this is a great travel hub for photographers. I'm going to drop links down below so you can go check it out, get one for yourself if you'd like. Again, thanks to EZQuest for sending this to me to evaluate. And if you have any questions about this product or want to drop your thoughts on USB hubs, please do so in the comments below, because I am all about tech and photo, and that's what I'm going to be back with again soon for you. So until then, take care.